everyone. Welcome to the first episode of Greedy About Books. I am the greedy reader. Okay, I'm also called Anjana, but I am the greedy reader. And this is my new video series where I'm going to talk to you about books. Nothing new there. But in this series, I'm going to talk to you, or I'm going to show you the world of books through my eyes. Everything interesting in the world of books. There's so much more to it than just the books that you see. The authors who write those books. So I'm going to talk about them, interesting authors, then the characters that appear in books. Very, very quirky characters, or characters whom you identify with, or characters whom you don't identify with. Detectives across books, schools in books. Then there are so many interesting book events that are happening. Then book festivals, why you should attend these literary festivals and how amazing it is to attend these festivals. There are so many things about the world of books that I really want to share with you, and that is why I have decided to start this video series. These are going to be short videos, max 7 minutes, max 7-8 minutes, that's it. And there are only going to be two permanent features. One is book recommendation, a recommendation for the week, and second is a book from the past that I will talk to you about very briefly. So these are the only two permanent features. The other time, the main part of the video will be for something interesting from the world of books. I guarantee you that you will love this. Okay? There are readers, I know there are a lot of readers who love hearing about books and anything to do with books, like me. Then there are also others who I have realized over these past couple of years who are not readers, but they are very interested in knowing what's happening in the world of books. So this video series, Greedy About Books, is going to tell you everything that's happening here, everything that's happening in the world of books, and things you will be interested to know about. So this episode, I am going to tell you a little bit about myself, because some of you might be asking why you should listen to me. So I'll tell you a little bit about myself. And I thought the best way to do that is to answer some of the questions that I get most frequently. Some of the most frequent questions, like why the greedy reader, why the name. So anybody who knows me knows how obsessed I am with books. And I had a book blog which was called The Greedy Reader, and I used to write book reviews in that. And later I decided that I much prefer to talk about books. So when I shifted to Instagram, I carried my handle, I carried the name The Greedy Reader with me, and now actually a lot of people call me Greedy. Greedy, Greedo, Greedum, Reader, The Greedy Reader. So these are the names that I'm called now. That's sort of become my identity actually. But it really sums up who I am. I'm extremely greedy about books and I can never have enough of them. So that is the name. Another question that I keep getting asked is when I started reading. I started reading when I was around 6 or 7 years old, and I think I should thank my parents for that. Because me and my brother is also a very voracious reader. So both of us were always members of some library or the other. And my earliest memory is of the Trivandrum Public Library. This huge, gracious building, you know, where my parents used to drop us off in the weekends, and there used to be an auntie who used to tell stories. So I think that's where my love for books started. And later when we were in Delhi for a couple of years, we were members of the Joe Bagh Library. And they had this entire collection, brand new collection of Nancy Drew and Hardy Boy books. And so my brother and I used to compete to complete that collection, you know. So that is another library. Then Chennai, we were members of Elur Library, and now I'm a member of the Ernakulam Public Library. So libraries have played a very important part in making me the reader that I am today. So moving on to the next question, which is how do I choose books? So the main factor which influences me when I choose books is recommendations. If somebody has talked about it and I like what they talked about it, and I like the premise of the story, or I find an interesting character in the story. So basically it's what I hear about the book that makes me choose it. Just today I was asked this question of how did you know that this is what you wanted to do? The answer is I didn't know that this is what I wanted to do. And actually when my younger daughter was in class 10, I used to recommend books to her. She wanted to read during exam time. She is not a reader, okay? She used to come for book recommendations, and she loved all the books that I recommended to her. And so I thought that, I like this. I like doing this. I like suggesting books, and I love hearing that they loved it. That give me a lot of happiness. So I thought, why not extend this sphere and try to recommend books to other people too. And I was, during those times on Instagram, I used to get messages asking me for book recommendations, and I used to go blank sometimes. So I thought, okay, let me plan this out and recommend good books that I loved. Okay. I still remember my first video. I had no clue. I did not have a mic. The ceiling fan was on. There was major disturbance. I just kept the phone camera on the table and switched it on and started talking about what was the book? Jodi Picoult's My Sister's Keeper. I loved that book. My daughters loved that book. My older daughter is also a voracious reader. So I started talking about the book, and I think that is for 3 minutes max. 3 minutes, yeah. And after that, there were 1 or 2 people who told me that this is not what you should be doing. Why don't you go back to writing? But there was this huge tidal wave of people who told me that this is fantastic. We loved it. Keep doing it. And now when I look back, I realize how much they loved me, because those videos are slightly difficult. Because there's so much of distraction, so many things happening that I was not aware of. But still, I got this huge surge of love, which made me want to do it again and again, and which made me want to do it in a better way. So that's how my book recommendation videos happened, and those will keep happening. That will be a monthly feature, while this Greedy About Books will be a weekly feature. So every Friday, I will come to you with a new episode, and it'll be something interesting about the world of books, plus a book recommendation for the week, and also a book from the past that I loved. Let's meet again next week, and I want to create a space where we can talk about books, where you get to hear about books, and anything that you want to know about books, write to me and I will talk about it. Anything, any recommendation that you want, just write to me and I will talk about it. So let us create a space, let us create a beautiful little space where it's just you and me and books. So until we meet again next Friday, bye-bye.